Hello and welcome to a late night special of the League Two preview podcast with myself, Matt, and our resident Bradford fan, Charlie. It's currently 25-11 the day before the games because we have opposing schedules. But hey, we need this podcast to go out for everyone who thoroughly enjoys listening. And because it's so late, I just want to make it very clear for people watching. And hopefully not for people hearing, but I will be eating throughout this episode because I am hungry and I've been at work. Charlie, take it away.
Yeah, hi guys. It's 25-11 because Matt's a little workaholic and he spends more time at work on the grind than he does doing anything else. I've got a change in background this time because my parents do not love each other, so I'm at my mother's gaff tonight. Apart from that, I think there's some football that's going to be played tomorrow. So because it's going to be played tomorrow, we're going to talk about it today. This might even, by the time you're listening to it, be the day of the match. So, Brill, fantastic.
Right. Yeah. Let's get straight on in, shall we? So we'll start as we mean to go on, and as we always do, and we'll start with our beloved clubs who have decided they're not going to be very good anymore. And I think we started with Bradford last week, so we'll start with Notts this time. And I don't know really where to go with it because we've got Swindon away, and Swindon aren't doing very well in the table. But what I have seen on Twitter today is that if a table was made up of 2024, Notts County would be rock bottom.
That's splendid. That is some of the best news I've heard in a long time. I think we'd be close to you, to be honest, but
hang on, I'll get back up. So we are bottom. Colchester is second bottom, 2 points clear of us, by the way, and Swindon is third bottom.
Oh, great.
You're 16th, and I think that's about where you are now anyway. So, you're 17th. So yeah, it's a bit of a lower table clash in terms of 2024. I'm not very hopeful after we lost again on Saturday, and we lost to Salford. Salford obviously aren't doing very well. I think we both predicted Notts to win, and they didn't because we can't predict scores for anything.
And that's our job.
And that is, in fact, what we do for every single score. I'm not optimistic going into it, if I'm honest. The only saving grace is that David McGoldrick's on the return. He was in the squad last week.
How long has he been gone for, though? Because
he's been gone for a couple of months. I don't think he's featured. If he did, he featured in January. I don't think he's featured in February or March. He's been away for a while. Did he? He's my saving grace coming into this tomorrow, is that hopefully he'll be in the lineup. And I'm hoping Kedwin Scott's going to start coming back because we were told he'd be back in March, and it's the last game week in March. We've yet to see his return. So whether there's been a setback in his injury that we haven't heard about, or he's going to make a surprise appearance tomorrow, I'm not sure. But I want it to be a surprise appearance tomorrow. Scott and McGoldrick back in our team would do us the world of good going forward. But oh my God, we haven't even I know this is a review, like a preview going forward, but I wonder how our defenders are going to cope because there's been quite a lot of controversy around Cal Cameron this week. From what I can gather from Twitter or X, sorry, Elon. From what I can gather from Twitter, X, is that he dropped a bit of a clanger on Saturday and then went on a bit of a spree blocking Notts fans who told him he went on a bit of a clanger. And then his missus and sister-in-law both got involved on social media, and it hasn't sat well with Notts fans who got involved with it or even asked, because I saw on Twitter somebody, all they tweeted was, "What's going on with Carl Cameron and his missus?" And Carl Cameron blocked him. And it's like, not great. So I wonder how that's going to work on Friday.
Yeah. Well, being a Bradford fan, we've had, where, oh my God, it's too late. Let me just start again. As a Bradford fan, we are no strangers to clashes with players and/or family members of players on social media. So you love a bit of that. It's just it's what comes with being a massive club. So
that must be it.
The club indeed is massive. Jatta, he's not been mentioned yet.
He hasn't, and he's unreal. He's still my Gambian prince. Him, McGoldrick, and Langstaff would be pretty heavenly going forward. And then you've got the likes of Dan Crowley, and you've got the likes of Kedwin Scott, and you've got the likes of Sam Austin. And our attacking lineup is way too good. It's our defence which is pretty poor. Also, I want to see Ashby Hammond in goal. The only 2 wins Maynard has picked up, Ashby Hammond was in goal. And in one of them, it was against you, and he got an assist, which is random. Our playing out the back, typical football, and our keeper gets an assist. Love that. I want Ashby Hammond back in goal. I want Jatta up top, and we desperately, desperately need Matty Palmer back in midfield, but we won't get that till next year. So yeah, I'm not excited for tomorrow, if I'm honest. I feel like Swindon, they've lost their last 3. Swindon, they've won 1 in 5. Notts have won 1 in 5 and lost 3, drawn 1. We've got the same record in 5. It's just they've lost the last 3. Our confidence from that win against you has completely gone, because we go into the next game and get tonked 2-1 by Salford at our own place. We now go away to Swindon, who haven't won in 3, picked up a point in 3 games, and will probably still get beaten. That being said, I am a Notts County fan, so I'll back my club consistently, even when I know it's best not to. And I'm going to say we're going to win 2-0.
2-0. That'd be a treat. That'd be a treat for you. Would that take you out of the bottom of the form table?
It depends. It depends. We won't be bottom anymore because Swindon would go bottom.
Oh, well, that's good. That's always good.
The table from 2024, I think, would be out of the relegation zone, depending on what Colchester do.
That's phenomenal news. That's the sort of news that you like to hear on your Easter weekend.
It is. What do you think is going to happen?
Do you know what? Given that Notts County have the thing is, right, Notts County have had a bad 2024 as the all touted 2024 table, says.
Yeah, that's proven.
But you've got to beat Swindon. You've got to beat Swindon. That's like, no hate to Swindon, but Swindon, you've had a poor season because of things on and off the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And surely Swindon fans will be expecting that Notts County fan. But then again, you've been very bad recently.
Thanks, Charlie.
No worries.
Say how it is.
Yeah. I'm just. That's what I do. This is a late night me. It's just how kooky and crazy I get when I stay up past my bedtime. But because my predictions tend to be wrong, I'm going to flip to what I'm expecting, and I'm going to say that Swindon are going to win 2-0.
Okay. I mean, I thought we were mates. But
oh, no.
Fair enough. Just strictly colleagues.
Colleagues, yeah. That's the one.
Okay. Moving swiftly on. You play Tranmere tomorrow, and Tranmere have Rob Apter.
Do you know, literally, it's only just dawned on me. When you said you play Tranmere tomorrow, I knew exactly what you were going to say. And it's that we will be playing against Rob Apter, and that's made me look forward to the match. There's a protest before the match tomorrow for our ownership and our CEO.
Yes,
which is going to be nice.
That's going to be a nice atmosphere.
Well, nobody will go anywhere. The stadium's been empty for like half the season, but we don't talk about that. Biggest club in the league. Tranmere, here's a little doozy of a fun fact. Got Mark Hughes sacked because they were, I think, either bottom or second from bottom when we played them, and we lost. And it wasn't even Mark Hughes' fault. Harry Lewis he had a stinker, but he's gone now, thank God. He had a stinker, conceded 2 very easy goals, and Mark Hughes was sacked the next day. So, swings and roundabouts in football. A lot of our fans think, oh my God, what if Tranmere get Mark Hughes sacked and then they get Graham Alexander sacked? Tranmere. Bradford fans, babes, that's not happening, It's just not happening.
No, I can't see Alexander sacked before the end of the season, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and then I was at the cinema today watching the new Ghostbusters. Don't bother watching.
Okay.
It's and I got a little notification on my phone, so I went on my phone in the cinema because I'm a rule breaker.
What?
And I filmed the whole thing as well, honestly.
Now live.
Yeah. It's the second half of this podcast. Instead of ads, we're going to have just the whole Ghostbusters movie.
For legal reasons, we are joking.
Yeah, we are joking, guys. Please keep sponsoring us. But that said, I got a notification, and it was a statement from our owner. He was like, "I'm going to give you more money next season. I'm going to maybe buy the ground. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some more people like a DOF. Maybe we'll do that, And it's like, that's cool. Thank you, Stefan. So,
fantastic.
You what?
Said fantastic.
Okay. I just heard the dick part of that, and I thought, what? No, that's good. To be honest, what's on the pitch, a point that I sort of started and never finished, is that Tranmere were about looking like the worst team in the league until they just switched on and sort of just started like winning every game every week, seemingly. But then obviously they'd be way higher in the league. We're really bad at the moment. We don't have any good players. Well, no, we have. Sorry, Andy Cook. We have a struggling defence right now. We're playing, as usual, left wing backs and right wing backs as centre halves, conceding easy goals. We played awfully at Harrogate. I went, of course, because I hate myself, and yeah. So that wasn't the best sort of use of my time, but what I am saying is, what I've gathered from that game is that we're not going to play very well on Good Friday, so it won't be the best Friday.
Quite a bad Friday.
Quite a bad Friday. And for that reason, I do think Rob Apter's going to score. And I also think we won't score. So I think Tranmere are going to win 1-0.
Oh, okay. I think we've got to put Rob Apter on the score sheet. Really.
Well, yeah. Duh.
Because he is in fact my prodigy.
You scouted him.
I did. I was the one who brought him to Tranmere. Definitely wasn't alone from Blackpool. That's just what the media want you to think. It was me.
And as well, a fun fact before we move on to the next game. Bear with me. Rob Apter is literally, he looks like me. So yeah.
So
he looks exactly the same. Right.
There is similarities. That you do look.
That is getting stopped in the street level of similarities.
That's Uncanny Valley sort of level.
Christ.
So you have lost your last 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tranmere have won 3 of their last 5, lost 1, drawn 1. They are they are level on points, and they are 2 places above you in the league. So you think that is going to get extended?
I think it will get. There will be, there will be 2 extensions. Me seeing Rob Apter, and then there will be their gap above their distance from us in the league will be great. It will be extended.
Well, I agree. I think Tranmere are going to win 2-1.
2-1.
Okay, right. We'll stop yapping on about how crap our clubs are, and we'll go to the decent clubs in the league because there's a real good top of the table clash tomorrow between Wrexham and Mansfield Town. Mansfield travel to the Stoke-Ray Stadium.
Stoke-Ray Cars.
The coffee ground. That's where they travel tomorrow. The cold coffee ground. Obviously, Mansfield top of the league on 73 points. Wrexham third on 70. A win for Mansfield would really push them out of the way, especially with Stockport being on pretty poor form at the moment. Although they did just come off the back of a win. But we'll get to them.
We will.
A Wrexham loss would open the gate a little bit for MK Dons, who if they can get a win would go level on points. However, a Wrexham win would then put a lot of pressure onto Mansfield. Stockport could go top of the league tomorrow if they get a win and Wrexham win. So
if Wrexham win 20-0.
Yes, if Wrexham win 20-0, then they go top, depending on what Stockport do.
Yeah.
So there could be... No, they wouldn't even need to win 20-0 because they're playing Mansfield. They need to win 10-0, wouldn't they? Because Mansfield would lose 10.
No, well, they need maybe 11-0 then.
11? Yeah.
11.
Yeah, a lot of movement likely in the top 3 tomorrow because of that game specifically. It could really put some pressure on Mansfield at the top. Mansfield could really lengthen their lead, push Wrexham further down towards 3rd place, maybe even the playoff positions as MK Dons look to climb up behind them. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. Both obviously Wrexham have superior quality in terms of depth, I feel. Mansfield, however, starting 11 I think is probably stronger. I think Mansfield's first 11 is stronger than Wrexham's, but Wrexham has more depth in rotation.
I agree.
I'm really quite torn in how this is going to go.
Well, yeah, Mansfield just drew with Colchester as well, which is a bizarre matchup to say the very least. And that's me saying the least. I really do not know. I want to say I don't know what to expect. I still back Mansfield here. Wrexham do have the strength in depth, and Wrexham are at home. I don't think their home advantage is a thing anymore though. But no. I don't know. Wrexham fans are frustrated with their team for whatever reason,
Don't get that. You're in the automatic spots first season back in League 2. You're tipped to get back-to-back promotion, and you've got one of the strongest squads in the league, if not the strongest.
Yeah, and they're not happy.
No, look at us two, man.
I'm wearing a Milan shirt because I'm ashamed to wear my own club shirt.
You have no right to be unhappy when Notts are 14th and have won 3 games all year, and Bradford are 17th and haven't gained a point in the last 4 games.
No, we haven't.
This is what sadness is.
So, grow up, Wrexham fans, and I hope you enjoy your 3-0 loss tomorrow.
Ooh, 3-0.
Yeah.
Do you really think
3-0? Are you saying, do you think they deserve 3-0?
No, I'm saying, is that your prediction?
No, I'm going to say 2-0 Mansfield.
Okay, see, I'm going to go a bit more down the conservative route, unlike me. And I'm going to say Wrexham are going to draw 2-2 with Mansfield.
2-2.
I think
in ballet.
Like in ballet.
It's a very dainty win. Oh, dainty draw. Sorry. It's a 2-2 win.
That's 2-2 win. Take home all 1 point. Right, we'll get back. On to the next one.
On to the next one. Come on.
We'll go back up to the top and we'll go in order now because we've got, that's in my eyes the biggest game tomorrow. We do, however, have a top versus a close to the top versus a close to the bottom in Forest Green take on Stockport.
Ooh.
Now everything screams at you that Stockport are going to win this, but
yeah,
it's Stockport, and I think they're incredibly unpredictable. Like, they haven't lost in 5 games at the minimum. That's all I can see on my screen. Last 5 games, they've always picked up at least a point. Forest Green obviously haven't done that. But I still feel like Stockport are a bit unpredictable.
Yeah, I have to agree. 1,000,000% actually, I agree. Because for Forest Green, even though I'm pretty sure Forest Green are coming off a loss, yeah, they are.
They are.
Forest Green don't quit trying, and I think even Doncaster fans said, I think it's Doncaster who they
they lost 2-0.
Doncaster who they lost to. Yeah, Doncaster fans said they didn't stop trying, and you could tell what their game plan was, and they stuck to it. And for me, Stockport, brilliant team, you know, but if they do sort of have a lapse in judgment, Forest Green could very easily take control of it. I think I've said this a couple of times about Forest Green. They're well drilled. They sort of have a game plan, stick to it, and if it works, it really works. And I could see Stockport maybe getting a bit overexcited after the win they've just had against MK Dons. I don't know if that's silly of me to say. I'm not too sure. I think I'm gonna dive right into the deep end here. And I am gonna say Stockport are gonna win, but I think Forest Green will put up a fight. And I'm gonna say no. It's gonna be a draw.
Oh, really?
I think Forest Green to score first, and it to be a very frustrating day for Stockport. And I think Stockport will score an equaliser later on.
Oh,
bless you.
So we're going for a 1-1 Forest Green Stockport for you, are you?
Yep.
Okay. Do you think Forest Green have missed an opportunity in order to save themselves? Because they've just come off the back of a loss to Doncaster, and before that they came off a loss to Sutton. Those are 2 teams, if you're trying to get your way out of relegation, you should be beating, in theory.
Now they've got
Stockport, and then on Monday they've got Crewe, and then they've got MK Dons, and then Mansfield. They've got an incredibly tricky run.
Wow, I didn't realise it was that bad for Forest Green. Forest Green are down. Goodbye.
They've got no. Surely there's a game in between. Because if that's the case,
the Forest Green have these. Oh dear.
They play all of the. They don't, do they? Surely not. That's harsh. Yeah. So they've got Stockport this week on Friday. They've got Crewe on Monday. The following game they have MK Dons. Then they have Mansfield at Mansfield. And then they've got Wrexham at the Cold Coffee Stadium. They've got a saving grace. And then they play Morecambe. So that's where it kind of not dips back down because Morecambe are a good side, but stops them. Oh, then they play us. So at least they'll get a win at the end of the season.
That'd be nice.
At least they can end on a high. So they've got, I'd say, the hardest run they could have after the last 2 weeks when they've played Doncaster and Sutton, 2 teams which they should really be beating if they're in and around that level. Are Forest Green kind of have they missed their opportunity considering what they've got coming up? Do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like definitely. Looking at that, I didn't realise how bad it was for Forest Green. And if I was a Forest Green fan, obviously, doesn't happen.
You'd be
No,
joining the
I-
National
I-
League Facebook banter groups already, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
You'd be getting yourself settled in.
You would. You'd be getting to know the locals and
Exactly.
learning all banter and Forest Green. It feels like they're the sort of side where their time in the EFL forever is over.
Do you think?
They don't seem like the sort of team who'd ever come back. Maybe I'm wrong. Forest Green fans prove me wrong.
League.
Yeah, but can you imagine? Like, it's much more likely that in like 10 years we'll still be in League Two and going, "Oh, do you remember Forest Green?"
No, like
Forest Green being in like League One, going, "Oh, do you remember Bradford and Notts?" I think that's it for them now. And looking at that, it feels like they're down already, especially to say that they're at the bottom. They've got a game in hand on Sutton, but I really don't think that's going to do much.
No, when that game in hand is at Mansfield Town, I don't think that's going to do a
lot. I'm still going to stick with a 1-1, but I still think Forest Green are down.
I'm going to say 3-1 Stockport. Call me boring. Call me
Matthew
on the line. Stockport are going to batter Forest Green. It's written in the stars.
Wow,
Moving
you're
on.
Taking a risk by betting on that one.
You know me. Okay, we'll go in like a nice little order now. We've kind of jumped between a few games between them importance. We've got Crawley Town versus Doncaster. Crawley are in the playoffs. A win would kind of help put some distance between them and the likes of Gillingham and the likes of Wimbledon, Walsall, I suppose. Put them on 62 points, 2 points behind Barrow as it stands if Crawley won. Obviously, it can all change, but Crawley will be really going for that. Their recruitment, by the way, has been absolutely stupendously good. To say everyone hit them for relegation in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
unreal. I feel like we don't mention that enough that Crawley were tipped for relegation and now they're in the playoffs.
No, and it's one of those sneaky little things that happen. And we'll get on to the team in question in a minute, but looking at the playoffs is something that also comes to mind for me. But obviously, like I've said, we'll come to that. We'll come to that when it's time.
We will. But Crawley Town.
How are they doing that? Corey Adda is like the best goalkeeper ever. And the way he played against us, even though we lost like 5-2, 4-2 to Crawley at home, he was terrible. But overall this season he's been brilliant. So well done, Corey. Well done. He's a goalkeeper. I don't know if I specified that.
Best goalkeeper. No, I think it was mentioned, but it's good to say it again.
Goalkeeper.
Something terrible could happen tomorrow, Charlie, for us too.
Oh yeah.
We're going to
get Grant McCann. Can Grant McCann you?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So what? Doncaster can move from 18th to 14th.
Yeah, theoretically they can move from 18th to 14th.
Meanwhile, you could only move to 14th potentially. Well, no, not really, but
No,
I mean. Grant McCann is going to Grant McCann us, whether we like it or not.
Theoretically, we could jump to 12th if results go
so over. This season is so over.
It's so over. Doncaster have won the last 3 on the bounce. And we've been slagging off Grant McCann literally since this podcast first started. And now he's heard it and he's taking vengeance and Doncaster are going to finish higher than Notts and Bradford.
Please, Grant McCann, please.
So
sitting.
That's a devastating fact. Like, we're going to get Grant McCann. Also, that's really hindered Crawley. It really is. And this is going to really hinder Crawley's chances of playoffs as well, although they haven't lost in the last 4 games. So they're on quite a decent...
Come on, Crawley. Come on.
Our fates lie in the hands of creepy Crawley.
Creepy Crawley and Grimy Grant.
We're going to get done for defamation or something.
No, you are so famous, Grant McCann. There we go. Sorted.
Fair. Good save.
Reformation. No worries. Doncaster have just hit form though very recently and are like the best team ever, and that's scaring me. So I don't know, you know when you don't know. It's scary. I genuinely don't know which way it's going to go. Crawley have just come off a pretty comfortable win against Tranmere, who we love to talk good about. Through to Stockport, I genuinely think Doncaster are going to win. I'm not even saying this hoping that I'll jinx it. I mean, I do hope I jinx it, but I do think, if I'm being honest, I do think Doncaster are going to win.
Really?
Yeah, their squad just seems to have hit the ground running right now. There's, let's have a look at their exact form. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In 9 games, they've lost 1 and drawn 2, which is disgusting. They've won 7 of their last 9. Disgusting. But so have Crawley. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm still backing Crawley. Am I?
I thought you were backing Donny.
No, but I keep changing. I'm backing Donny. I decided 2-1 to Donny.
Right. Well, I've got my
McCann'd brace
written down already, and I think Crawley are going to win 2-1. Rob Apter brace.
Rob Apter to score for Crawley.
No, scored 2 for Crawley.
Oh, sorry. My mistake.
Don't be silly.
If Rob Apter does that, if Rob Apter scores 2 for Crawley, I will I'll record an episode of this nude. So come on, Rob. Message sign for Crawley, please.
Please.
Now you have to. Yeah.
Right. Well, that bit's over. We'll take you to our lovely little advertisements. Gonna have a slice of pizza in this time. I'm really coming down with a cold.
I'm keeping that in, that's staying in. Welcome back. Matthew's brought us back in flawlessly there. He's having a slice of pizza. He's coming down with a cold. So you're very fortunate to have him here. Good advert. As good as that slice of pizza, Matthew?
Better
than the slice of pizza. I mean, they always are. You know what our beautiful sponsors are like. Wow.
They are. They are good.
They are good, and they just sponsor us all over the place and just sponsor us so hard. So what is there not to like?
Very good point. Right. We are taking our time with these today, so we've got to kind of get a wiggle on, I think. So the next game we go to is Colchester versus Newport. Colchester, the draw merchants. And Newport, who were doing really well and now are 11th. Like, can still get into playoffs, not tomorrow, but I think in time they could still get there. A couple of wins under the belt, they'd be in the contention again. Colchester really need to sort their lives out and get a win. Like, they're just playing with the relegation zone at the minute, and that's not really on. Like,
it's
Cowley, what are you doing?
Danny Cowley, I know you listen to this, so sort your act out. Sign Rob Apter and win every game for the rest of the season. It's that easy.
It is. We should just be managers, man. It'd be so easy.
We should. I mean, players. We've just saved Colchester. So.
Exactly.
Dear Colchester, you ever thought about signing better players, maybe? Mbappe, I'm pretty sure he wants to leave.
Just get Rooney back.
Sorted. Yeah, just
as a player,
as a manager.
Then they would go down.
Lol.
So yeah, Colchester need a win quite desperately. I'm going to have a look. I don't know when Colchester actually last won a game. Please take it away whilst I'm doing some research.
Yeah, so Colchester, while Matthew probably eats a slice of pizza again while working out when they last won. Colchester, the traits of a Danny Cowley team is sort of, they want to focus on being hard to beat. I feel like that's the basics, and I think they're establishing the basics as soon as they come in. That's very clear. That's what they want to be for now, hard to beat, and then from then on it'll be hard to draw against if they stay up, because they'll win every bloody match. In theory, obviously. I think Newport, I don't really know what's happened at Newport's fall from grace, really. I've been sort of following Newport lightly. I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, go on.
Sorry.
Tell us.
It was 2 months ago. It was on the 27th of January was their last win. They beat Morecambe 1-0.
Wow. That is probably one of the best games ever. I remember that day.
The game before that, they drew to Bradford.
Fuck off.
And the game before that, they drew. And the game before that, they lost. Yeah, we can keep going back. We're into December now, and it's another loss. They've been on really bad form, haven't they?
There's just such a weird team that it's genuinely like they just don't want to lose a game of football.
I don't think anybody.
I know nobody does.
Wanting to lose.
No, but their focus is do not lose this game.
Yeah.
And it's sort of working in keeping them up, because I feel like they're just going to be like on the verge of the relegation zone at this season. I think they'll stay up. They always sort of manage it. I think the Cowleys will take them forward, whether they go down or not. But I've no clue. I've really just like such a bizarre situation. Newport again, like I said, I don't know what's happened to them. I don't know if you know.
No, not really. We need Kieran to give us a bit of a word, because I don't really know a lot about Newport. I just know that we beat them, and it was Maynard's first win.
That's very nice. That's a splendid win.
It was a good win.
That was a good win.
Time, they were the most informed side.
They were. I remember.
So I spoke to me and Kieran did a little podcast about it. It was really quite random. It's nice though.
We hate you, Kieran.
Yeah, I don't really know what's happened to Newport. I think they're still in contention for playoffs, but they really need to kind of sort themselves out a little bit, get a few wins under the belt. They've lost 3 in the last 5, won 2. Not great in terms of record. Not the worst, but not great. Colchester seem to be able to draw against anybody and everybody, including Stockport and Mansfield. Random. Did they draw to Stockport? Am I making that up?
I don't know if they drew to Stockport. They definitely drew to Mansfield, because it was not long ago. They didn't play Stockport most recently.
No, they haven't, have they? I don't know whether. Sorry, guys.
Wait.
They haven't played them since like November.
They lost 2-0 in November, but that don't count.
Yeah, sorry about that. I do apologise. I really thought they drew at Stockport recently.
Oh, you're wrong. Again.
I think it'll be a draw.
If you're a betting man, you're going to bet on Colchester to draw. Go on, Colchester. Score the same amount of goals as Newport.
I think it's going to be a nice little 1-1.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I can't disagree. I think it just makes sense. If you can draw, if all you do is draw and you can draw 1-1 to Mansfield, you must draw 1-1 to Newport, because they're not going to win, because they draw games. So
because they draw games, yeah.
Pretty simple.
Okay, moving on. We have Barrow versus Grimsby.
Wow.
Now Barrow are still in the playoff zones. They are pretty safe in the playoff zones. They're 5 points clear. I feel like the hype of Barrow has gone down quite considerably. Now they're not in the top 3 or 4, but they're still like in touching distance ish of automatics. They're 6 points off. Few results their way, few wins under the belt. Stuff could happen. I doubt it, but it could. They're only 3 points off MK Dons, only 1 point off Crewe. And Crewe aren't on the best run of form at the moment. Barrow haven't lost a game in the last 5. I think Barrow kind of going under the radar a little bit in terms of this playoffs push. Grimsby, however, aren't doing very well. They've only lost once in the last 5, but then they've only won 1 as well. They've drawn 3 of them. A little bit of a Colchester. I think another win would pretty much secure them safety. They're 6 points clear of the relegation zone at the moment. We've only got maybe 4 or 5 match weeks left.
5, I think. Let me work it out.
So yeah,
7,
not many match
7.
weeks.
It can't be 7.
Apparently it's 7. So not loads of game weeks left anyway. If they can rack up a win, if they can get 2 more wins, I'd say they're safe.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to process the yes. Grimsby, it's a 5-point gap. It's nothing insane, but it's probably going to be enough. You can't see any of those closing that gap. Dave Artell seems to have locked in and sort of started trying. They did lose to Wrexham, but they've not got, they're picking up points in the how many games? 6 games before that, so that's not too bad. I don't really. I'd be lying if I said I knew what I thought was going to happen, because I always get it wrong. But Barrow, I do want to. These were my mystery team from earlier when we were looking at Crawley. They're not going up this season, I don't think, and it's weird because the way they started off, it really looked like they were just going to do it. I can't see them winning the playoffs over a Crewe or an MK Dons. I just can't see that, or even a Crawley. I don't really know what the Barrow situation is. I think they've just been playing poorer recently. Their defense is good. I know this. This is something I know.
Okay.
I do know that. But apart from that, Barrow, I don't really know the reasoning behind their sort of drop off. Well, they went on a bit of a losing streak before, but we don't talk about that. I think to put it down to the brass tacks, it's going to be the thing is, I want to say a Grimsby win, but Barrow are better than them. But then Barrow haven't been that good recently.
But then, we say that, but they've won 3 of their last 5. They've drawn 2. So who did they play against? Let's have a quick look. They beat Newport, drew to Harrogate, drew to Walsall, beat Colchester, beat Gillingham. And then before that, lost a few games. I suppose they haven't really played anybody who's high up the table apart from Gillingham.
Yeah.
I think Barrow are better than Grimsby. That's not really a question.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I think we're putting this down a lot. I think it's going to be a draw.
It might be a draw. I was tossing around the sort of idea of a draw in my head. Their defense is good. If Grimsby are going to struggle to score, then do you know what? 1-0 Barrow. 1-0 Barrow. I think
1-0 Barrow.
Yeah, I think Barrow will make it hard for themselves, but I think Grimsby will struggle to score.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go with a nice little 2-2. Like in ballet. Yeah, 2-2. I think I can't hear it without thinking of ballet. That's how I think it's going to go. Moving on, we have the most boring team in the league versus one of the most boring teams in the league. We've got Accrington Stanley versus Morecambe. Accrington.
What a clash!
They have 2 titans in EFL football. Accrington is 16th at the moment. Morecambe sitting 12th. 4 points between them both. Morecambe have lost their last 4, which is really bad form.
I was just looking at that myself.
The only other team, I think, who's lost their last 4 is Bradford. For those of you who are listening, Charlie's decided his.
I don't know what that's done. I don't know what that just did. Everything went silent. Everything went silent.
Oh, that's
I don't
really
know what just happened.
So yeah, as I was saying, the only other team who've lost 4 in a row are Bradford. And I mean, all bad things must come to an end, I suppose. But Accrington, I don't think Accrington care. I don't think they're that fussed anymore. They're
Yeah,
not.
we've been saying this, haven't we? They just that's the front towel, and they do not give a shit.
It's just like that. They know they're safe for at least another year.
And we're all glad, by the way.
Well,
All glad
Accrington's
that
safe.
Accrington are sticking. Yeah, I didn't
No,
want
of
to lose
course.
them.
It's one of the highlights of the year. Them away days. It's one of the fixtures you point out. You book off work.
Just sit at home, or you go. If you can get a ticket, you go.
Yeah, if it's not sold out like all the other games are. If you're one of the lucky ones.
If you're one of the lucky ones to watch the Accrington-Morecambe derby, you will see two teams who have sort of thrown the towel in and thought, yeah, see you next season. I once stood on a high rise outside the ground to watch that. It was just I had to watch it somehow, and I made it. I managed.
See, this is all hearsay, but my dad apparently once actually hired a crane just to put outside the ground so he could see over the terraces because he couldn't get a ticket.
What, to Accrington Morecambe?
Accrington, well, yeah, that specific. He's a Notts fan, but
my dad's a crane driver in Accrington, and he talked about a Notts fan who hired a crane to go. So maybe
wow, maybe our paths have collided before.
When we were just in there, shit myself in there. Great. Yeah,
it's going to be a really boring
prediction. Yeah, it's 0-0. It's got 0-0 all over it.
It really does. Because no one's that asked about winning. I think they're just at a point where it says they don't want any injuries and they're happy.
Yeah, they might, maximum of 1 goal scored a game in the game, but that's pushing the boat out.
Oh, I'm delirious. Who do you think is going to get that singular goal?
Oh no, I genuinely do think it'll be 0-0. If someone's going to score, it'll be Morecambe. If someone's going to score, it'll be Morecambe. But
see, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to say Accrington win 1-0. And I don't know why.
Can you imagine being in the stands when they score that goal?
When that goal goes in, oh
wow!
The only thing I could have likened it to would be like if we won the Euros.
That's the only thing that had come close.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was chuffed to bits when we won in the penalty shootout at Wembley to get to the EFL. But my God, if Accrington scored a last-minute winner, I think I'd pass out.
Against Morecambe at that.
Of all people, I'd just be at work. My phone would buzz. I'd have a look and it'd be like Accrington scored 93rd minute.
You just start cheering. Yeah! Tops come off.
Plates throwing everywhere. Glasses smashed. But then I can
Boss
imagine.
Comes over. What's happened? Oh, Accrington have only gone and bloody scored a last-minute winner. Boss goes, mate. He goes, everyone go home. Everyone. Go home.
Boss takes his top off. He's wheeling it round his head, running around the
got his Accrington tattoo on his chest. That's what football's about.
Got a few customers who stand up and say, "If you said Accrington has scored," their plates go flying, tables all over the floor. It's ridiculous.
National holiday. National holiday.
Moving on. Jesus. Gillingham versus Crewe tomorrow.
My favourite team.
Gillingham really trying to get into the playoffs. They're only out of it at the moment. Back to a bit calm now. Only out of it by goal difference at the moment. They're level on points with Crawley. Crewe, again, within touching distance of the automatics. A couple of wins and some results their way. They'll be right back in there. I don't think that'll happen. But I think the teams above them is just a bit too strong. But a win tomorrow and MK Dons to drop points would mean they go to 4th. and as it stands, they would only be
2 points off Wrexham.
Yeah, 2 points off Wrexham. I really struggled then. There'd only be 2 points off Wrexham, obviously holding the final automatic spot. Gillingham, however, a win would boost them straight into the playoffs, obviously depending on what Crawley do. So at that point, they need Donny to give them a result. I think Crew have lost 3 of their last 5 and drawn 1. Gillingham have won 1 of their last 5, drawn 2, lost 2. So neither of them really on great form. But Gillingham come into this game off the back of a win. They've just beat Morecambe 3-2. But then everybody at the minute seems to be beating Morecambe. So I don't know how much we can take from that, really.
Yeah, Crew, stinky form, skid mark. But they're both on... When you combine 2 skid marks, the underpants stick... The pants stick together. I'm going 1-1.
I love your inspirational words.
Yeah, well, it's a curse, really. You know.
I'm going to say Crew win 2-1.
Do you? I genuinely do think it'll be a draw. Just going off their form. Crew, I do think Crew are the better team, but they're both playing for a lot. And, you know, the Crew lads and the Gillingham lads, they do work bloody hard. They work hard.
They do.
And
they go home and away. You know, they train a couple of times a week. They play big football matches. You know, they put their effort in. Fair play.
So, you know, for that reason, I am going to say a draw. You know, I'm feeling a draw.
Fair enough. What do you call me?
So next up, we've got Salford and Sutton. Towards the lower end of the Sky Bet League 2 table.
Yep. Salford have won their last 2. One of them being against Notts. Yay. The other one being against Morecambe. Everyone beats Morecambe. So Salford have won their last 2. So they've got a bit of confidence in them a minute. Sutton have also won their last 2. So we'll have a little bit of confidence in them in order to get out of the relegation zone. A win tomorrow and results their way with Colchester would mean they go out of the relegation zone probably for the first time this season. Colchester, however, if they win, obviously the gap is too large, so Sutton will stay there. How do you think this is going to go? Because I think this could go Sutton's way. And however, even though the last 2 weeks I've said Sutton are a little person trying to fight you and you're holding them back with your hand, they've won both of those games since I've said that. I feel like we need to stop taking the mick out of clubs because then they just keep doing us in.
The thing is, though, Salford have been bad, right? But Sutton have been worse than ever. And I don't know, Sutton are the little guy, but for some reason in my brain, I can't see a world in which Sutton escape now. And I think Sutton fans, from what I've heard from Joe, who's a Sutton fan, that's basically how it is, you know?
But then they could. They really could get out of
it. They could, but I think I've got a lot of faith in Salford. I think Salford are lower down than they sort of are quality-wise. I think they're better than, you know, teams above them, such as Accrington, Harrogate, etc. It's a weird league this season, and, you know, it's been able to go either way, but Salford are a good side. Carl Robinson sorted them out. But that being said, Sutton have a lot to play for, you know?
Sutton have a lot to play for. A win tomorrow, like I just said, really puts them in contention for survival, which has kind of been out of the question all season until now.
Yeah.
I think Sutton will do it. I think Salford are the better team, but with nothing to play for, and Sutton do have a lot to play for, I think Sutton can do it. I'm going to say Sutton wins 2-1. No,
I'm going to be kooky and crazy. Oh, go on.
Let's say Sutton win 2-0.
2 whole nils.
2 entire nils.
Never.
Well, it's talking to me. That's what it's telling me. I'm just feeding off the energy.
I'm just telling you what the spirits are telling me. 3-3.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah, come crying to me. You go, oh, Mr. Charlie, I should have put that in my accumulator bet. Yeah, you should. Unlucky. Put it on. Put it on.
We are down finally to...
Yeah, no, 3-3. I'm saying 3-3. Is it the last
3-3.
game already?
No, penultimate.
Penultimate, so
we've got...
Well, the handball in the area.
What?
Penalty, penultimate.
That's... I'm not even going to... Nah. Right, MK Dons versus Walsall tomorrow. Obviously, massive game for MK Dons. A win, we say this all the time, a win and results that go their way, they won't get it. They're not going to get into the automatics, but they'll be at least level on points because there's, what, maybe, is that an 11-goal difference between them and Wrexham? No, 13.
Yeah.
No,
13 I just agreed. I couldn't even see it.
It's 13-goal difference between them and Wrexham, so Wrexham would need to lose heavily to Mansfield, and MK Dons would need to win heavily against Walsall. Walsall have kind of dropped off slightly as well. They were challenging.
Yeah, they have.
They still are challenging for playoffs, but they haven't won in the last 3 games, which has really hurt them in terms of their playoff push. If they win tomorrow and results their way, they could find themselves in the playoff positions, but it's obviously highly unlikely. MK Dons, I think, have got superior quality, and I don't know if we've mentioned this, but I really like MK Dons' head coach.
Yeah. Is that the Mike Williamson man?
It is him.
Oh, he's splendid. He's splendid. Superb.
Yeah.
Superb.
Don't think we've mentioned it, but he's actually a very good coach.
He is, but they do love a bottle. Don't you think?
They really, really do. They'll go from, they've beaten Crewe 3-1. No, sorry. Oh, so we go back a little bit. They beat Mansfield 2-1, Salford 3-1, then lost to Grimsby. Beat Crewe Alexander, lost 5-0 to Stockport.
5-all.
Yeah. 5 entire nils. That's a lot of nils.
Yeah, and that's what I'm sort of talking about with MK Dons is they're very, 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 very good at kicking a ball around and kicking a ball into the back of a net, but every now and then they're just not. And I really don't know why. Walsall maybe, not even stagnated a bit, but they slowed down a bit. But it just seems like the sort of game where everything's in MK Dons' hands. And I can just see MK Dons losing again. That's in my head. I can just see them losing again and just being like really bad. That's what I see tomorrow happening.
Whereas I think they're going to win.
Do you?
I think they're going to bounce back, and I'm going to say MK Dons win 3-1.
I can't see it. I'm going to say 2-0 loss for MK Dons. I'm going to say Walsall win 2-0.
This is good. I'm glad we've got different views for once. Normally we kind of agree on most of them, whereas we've only got a couple that we've agreed on this time. That's good. It's good. Bit of healthy competition where I win. Moving on, we've got our final.
The ultimate game from one Don to another.
We do. We go to the AFC Wimbledon, who take on Harrogate tomorrow. Wimbledon, again, in and around the playoff positions, only 1 point off 7th place. So, as we've said 40 times already, a win and results their way could see them go into the playoffs. Harrogate, however, are a bit further off. Only 5 points, but they do come off the back of a win. Harrogate recently... Oh, dear. Harrogate recently... Oh, they beat Bradford 3-0.
We were so bad. We were so bad. Like, genuinely, like, I get annoyed at football, but, like, I was going insane at that, like, insane. It was so annoying. It was awful. It was like... Do you know the cliche of like, oh, you get paid this much money and you can't... What were we doing? What, the manager gets paid this much money. You know, the players, what were we doing? What on earth were we doing? And, you know, no hate to the players because I love some of you. Not telling you which ones. No, it was just unbearable. It was a really bad game. The players know that. This isn't the Bradford show. This isn't the Harrogate were really, really good. Really good.
Good. So yeah, they've come off the back of a win against Hughes. They drew to Barrow before that. They then drew to Wrexham before that. So, you know, not a terrible run of results, really, considering opponents. But Wimbledon are a difficult one. They were doing really well at the beginning. They suffered when they lost Al-Mohammadi.
Ali Al-Hamadi. He's a brilliant player at Ipswich.
Incredible player at Ipswich. They suffered a little bit when they lost him, and then they seem to regain that form a little bit. They've come off of the back of a draw against Crewe, so not a bad result at all. Very good side, but I think both teams are good sides, though. That's the issue.
Yeah,
Harrogate have surprised people this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're both sort of striving for the same thing. Maybe, you know, Wimbledon a little bit more than Harrogate because they're closer. But you know what I mean? There's no reason for Harrogate to give up yet.
No,
especially with they'll have a lot of confidence now. But Wimbledon, I think, just are a bit better. You know, we could have, you know, not to make it about us again, but to make it about us again. We had enough opportunities or scenarios where we should have been doing better for it not to have ended 3-0.
Yeah.
Purely from that, I just think Wimbledon are a better team. I think a better team would do better out that game than us. And also, I've got an agenda for a double Dons derby playoff final.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? That's not even like
there'll be so many Dons. It'll be like the Mafia.
Jesus Christ! So that's the end of the podcast.
No, it's not. Score predictions, please.
It's not. I'm joking. I was only messing. I'm going to go 2-2.
Ballet.
Yep. The Ballet score.
You say 3-2 to Wimbledon.
3-2. Great. High scoring for both of us for that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, that actually does bring us to the end of this session's review. As we do have some games on Monday, which we aren't going to cover now because it is 20 to midnight, and also you're probably all sick of hearing our voices for now. So instead, we're going to record another one tomorrow, we believe, which will focus on Monday's matches. So don't worry, you're not going to miss a game week from us. You can have our high quality intellect, our fantastic humour, and our consistently correct score predictions.
Yeah, and do all the stuff, you know, comment, like, rate, share, tell your friends. Anything else? Are we missing anything else?
I don't think so. Just thank you if you've made it this far. We appreciate you listening through us babble a lot and take the mick out of Accrington probably more than we should have done. Yeah, like Charlie said, please like and subscribe if this is YouTube, like if this is Spotify, and give us nice reviews. And we say this at the end of every podcast, and I don't think I've seen any yet, but if you want anything in these sort of podcasts, please tweet myself or Charlie, tweet Lower League Look. We will try and we want to incorporate as much as we can do to make these as enjoyable for you as we can do. So please, if any suggestions of what you'd like to see, then just you let us know. But yeah, on that, I think that's us signing off. So thank you very much.
Good night. God bless.